Hello, I'm Sandra Balboa, Division Director of Human Resources. Look, the current pandemic is challenging the way we work and is forcing many of us to work remotely in order to continue doing business as usual. But thankfully, we have the technology for that with online platforms such as Zoom or Skype, which are easily accessible from a multitude of electronic devices such as laptops, tablets, or even smartphones. This type of technology enables us to participate remotely in meetings, job interviews, and even training. But no matter what the frequency or the purpose for which you're video conferencing these days, I'm here to share with you my tips and best practices for preparing you and your workspace for successful video conferencing. Are you ready? Because here we go. Successful video conferencing requires us to take into account elements that we don't normally think much about whenever we are interacting with others in person, such as the quality of lighting, the background, and even the camera angle. Let's start with lighting. When it comes to video conferencing, indirect, natural light is always best. So, for optimal video conferencing, you'll want to position yourself so that you're facing a window during daylight hours. Now, if a natural source of light is not available, then always make sure that any lamps or other bright sources of light are never directly behind you, because if they are, you will end up looking like a dark silhouette on the other side of the screen, and the person you're interacting with will not be able to see your facial expressions or your features, which in turn diminishes the quality of the interaction. Next, let's talk about how to best position your camera. An optimal video experience will look and feel as closely as possible to the real thing. And when you think about it, when we meet with one another, we typically do it sitting across the table from each other. So, placing the camera as close as possible to eye level and about an arm's length distance from you will help replicate that effect. You don't need an expensive tripod or custom equipment to achieve this effect. In fact, using something as simple as an empty box or a stack of books to elevate your device so that it sits higher on your table surface will do just fine. And I guarantee that as soon as you make this adjustment, video conferencing will feel a lot more natural and a lot less awkward. Last, let's talk about staging. When it comes to video conferencing for business especially, it is important to edit your surroundings. One very easy way to do this is by sitting with your back towards a wall or some kind of uninterrupted background, such as these drapes right here. This will help the viewer focus exclusively on you rather than focus on any activity or other distractions that might be going on in the background. Now, if you can't find a suitable wall or backdrop, then try to make sure that any visible room or space behind you looks organized and free of clutter. Also, certain platforms like Zoom allow us to use graphics or photos of our choice to serve as virtual backgrounds. And if you're already in the habit of using these for business meetings, then it's always best to err in favor of more neutral, stock type of images to project a more professional image. Up next, stay tuned for more from our social media team, as we will be sharing tips and best practices for video interviewing. In the meantime, I hope that the tips and best practices I shared with you today will arm you with enough know-how and confidence to shine at your next video conference, whether it's for a work presentation, a team training session, or a big job interview.